I'm Neil Atkinson, this is Craig Hannan, this is Talking Reds. Don't let the record label take you out to lunch. You're the one who's got to pay at the end of the day. And try not to want people to like you too much. You'll just need more and more flatteries to recharge your batteries. And don't let showmanship become more important than honesty if you don't want to be so many things that you see. But don't let the record label take you out to lunch, because every sip of soup is going to get recouped, and you'll get a good review and then you'll get a bad review, and don't get suckered either way because none of them know you. Don't let the record label take you out to lunch because they'll call you a cab and put it on your tab. Don't let the record label take you out to lunch. Though the fishes look delicious, someone's got to do the dishes. People might say you're insane or just looking to complain, and you need them more than they need you, so don't bite the hands that feed you. Everyone's been fair and nice, you consider them a friend, but everything still has a price. You don't want to overspend. It's your wallet and your soul when the cheque comes in the end. No matter what the situation, art, love or occupation, I will hold off on the hors d'oeuvres. That's not what I'm in it for. I only want what I deserve. I want no less. I want no more. Roman Abramovich and Chelsea.
Yeah, you didn't tell me you were going to do that, did you?
I never tell you anything, my friend. I never tell you anything.
I know, yeah.
That's Jeffrey Lewis, by the way, one of the greatest living songwriters. Roman Abramovich and Chelsea, don't let the record label take you out to lunch. You're the one who's got to pay at the end of the day. Do you know who looks good at the minute?
Who?
Fucking Fenway Sports Group.
Don't shout that too loud on here.
Fenway Sports Group look fucking great at the minute, don't they, everybody, ladies and gentlemen? Fenway Sports Group look as though they want to make some money off their sports group ownership, but are not in some way, shape or form morally bankrupt. They may well get things wrong, but my word, they aren't leading to, for instance, people not being able to attend football matches if they haven't already got a season ticket. It is something that, I'm not going to say it was always going to happen, but I did Midnight Call with Rory Smith. You always like it when I do stuff with Rory Smith. I told you it was very
I haven't
bleak.
listened yet. I'm gonna listen.
In it, we talk about the idea of what happens either when this goes wrong or what happens when organisations / ownerships such as Chelsea, such as Newcastle, such as Manchester City, when they decide they're no longer interested. What actually happens when what's the dark side of all of this? Because everyone can see the upside. What's the dark side? We've got one dark side here, but in general, dark sides are very, very major, and this is just one small thing given the fact that there's a conflict going on where people are dying.
Yeah, that's the that's that. I mean, as football fans, when we are offered a big shiny thing, this nice big shiny thing, did that not work?
It was picking you up. Just try that again.
Okay, go on, keep going, Craig.
Oh yeah, we are live. Sorry. When you're offered a nice big shiny thing, you're offered lots of money, and I'll just hold this. You're offered lots of money, and you're offered riches and the possibility of silverware and brilliant moments and experiences and everything. Football fans grab it like that. They'll always grab it like that. They'll always want that. And you don't think of what might happen. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't think of like the possibility of something like this happen. You don't question, and we've seen it as lately as 6 months ago. You don't question the sort of the morality of it all. You're just happy. We've seen the celebrations in Newcastle and what the Saudis coming in and what that's meant to them. And now it's all happening to the Chelsea fans after years of success and experiences.
You can cut that back on now. That was like a pit stop. When you could hear me at the start, my microphone went dead as it wore on. The batteries went off. Sam Walker did an absolute pit stop there. The batteries just absolutely died.
Trying to talk with Sam
Walker
running around there.
It was unbelievable work. It was great work. Sometimes these sorts of things happen from time to time. Listen, it's the questioning, and we were burned, and I think this is the bit that sort of, again, some people, whether Liverpool supporters or not, fail to recollect is from 2000. We had the moment where we thought there's a new ownership in, everything's going to be great.
Yeah.
That was a thing. It was a live runner and rider in 2007. It was literally done as David Moyes was selling to these people because they were going to make sure that Liverpool could compete at the top table with the bar that was then set by Abramovich. And we watched it all go badly wrong. And in part because of a regional characteristic that it sometimes is somewhat annoying. We chose to ask questions relatively early, and we were aware of what it was we were dealing with. But we still had that period of time where, there was American flags knocking around on the cop off the back of the Hicks and Gillette purchase. That still happened.
We still had the Torres signing, the Babel signing. Like, I remember when that was happening, and I was thinking, fucking hell, like that finally we're buying a footballer that's 20 plus million, that's a footballer that the Chelseas, the Uniteds and so on would have liked to have done. So we were getting those shiny new things at the time, weren't we?
And so all of that happens. So we understand what it is and where it goes through, but it's important, I think, because we now know, if there's one thing we now know, it's that the Premier League are not fit for purpose with reference to assessing ownerships. The governance of the Premier League is not fit for purpose. So what that therefore means is that whether we like it or not, and it's wrong, I hasten to add, it comes down to supporters to have to do that.
And there's been a period of time here where, listen, you know, Chelsea and Abramovich, and I'm not going to crow over Chelsea supporters to any great degree here, because firstly, supporters shouldn't have to worry about this stuff, but also secondly, they've been part of the learning curve. You know, what we talk about with Hicks and Gillette, that was in 2007-8. Abramovich was in 2003. You know, so we've gone on a learning curve. There's a learning curve for everyone. But sadly, until the Premier League are fit for purpose, supporters have got to hold ownerships to account. Yeah. It's supporters who've got to say, firstly, are you the people we want running our football club? Secondly, what are your actual plans for our football club? Thirdly, what's the potential downside? This could have happened, this scenario. It could have happened in 2014 when Abramovich invades Chechnya. So Chechnya was even earlier, Crimea in 2014. Chechnya was, good God, some time ago. Like, this could have, Putin invades. It could have happened ages ago, what we're getting now. So all of this, I think, it's this dangerous sort of situation where this is the downside of these things. And genuinely, there's lots of ways in which I understand that some people find Fenway Sports Group boring, but my God, is boring better for you in the long run. Just some solid competence is better for you in the long run.
Absolutely. I know what you're saying in terms of the supporters having to hold the ownership to account, but I also feel as if there's a supporter out there. I used when we were talking about the Newcastle takeover at the time, we were talking about it, and there's a footballer who has just gone to St James's Park 3 o'clock every other week and isn't on Twitter and isn't massively into global affairs and just wants to go to the footy because it's his release at the weekend and then go home again. And so I think there is this sort of football fan that, you know, will never look at it and go, oh, I need to hold my own ship to account. Because, do you know what? If you look into all of them, they're all awful. So it's getting the least awful.
Yeah, it's degrees.
It's the least awful of what you can possibly get. The problem is, you know, Abramovich is a Russian oligarch who has been mates with Putin, and by being mates with him, as you know, it's
led to these sanctions.
Yes, exactly.
It's led to these sanctions, and that is, you know, for me, this is the rights and wrongs of even the sanctioning process. And, you know, listen, there's pros and cons to everything, and let's not act for a second as though either the UK government gets everything right, because, my God, if we're sanctioning Chelsea, there's a strong argument to sanction the Conservative and Unionist Party at the drop of a hat for their connection to Russian money. But we can go all the way through on this, and this is just, as I say, I think that there's been a moral darkness at the heart of English football for some time, and that moral darkness is not an argument as to how much tax people should or shouldn't pay. It is that the Premier League, not dissimilar to Britain, to the country, to London, has welcomed as much money, as much dirty money as it can possibly get in, because it greases the wheels and helps the world go round. It's time for it to stop. It really is time for it to stop. The Crouch Review should be put in full. The Premier League clubs should be behind that. It would be great to see Liverpool Football Club get behind that in the way in which we're able to get behind them as an ownership and the work that they've done with Spirit of Shankly. Now is the time for that to happen from Liverpool Football Club, to back the Crouch Review in full, in public, not mess about and say that they can be part of the vanguard saving English football. It is the time for that sort of action right now. Elsewhere,
Champions League.
Did you watch Real? Did you watch it?
I did.
I think the third goal's goal of the season. I think it's an incredible finish. The way he comes, he'll never get goal of the season for loads of reasons.
I know what you mean, though.
It's one of the best bits of football, like instinctive bits of football I've ever seen. He knows where the ball is. He knows he's going to get there before the man. He knows exactly how to direct it and put it in the corner where the goalkeeper can't get it. Like, genuinely, there's probably about 4 people on the planet who could do that. It is incredible football.
He's so good. He's so good. And I feel like I forget about him quite often. Like, when I'm talking about and thinking about the top strikers in the world, I don't necessarily think of Benzema, or he doesn't come to my head. And then I watch him play football and I go, oh yeah, he is Real Madrid's all-time top goal scorer. Oh yeah, it's just because he doesn't look like he's not as fashionable as Kylian Mbappe. And my word, by the way, kids are going to be trying Kylian Mbappe's goal that was disallowed in the playgrounds this morning, because I'm 30 years old, and the first thing I wanted to do waking up was go to Nashville and try and do that past someone. It was incredible. Like I said yesterday on Tall Live that I wanted Real Madrid to put PSG out, and then I wanted Real Madrid in the next round, and he said all of this forgetting about Karim Benzema. Basically.
You do forget about him.
You do, don't you? Is it just me?
No, you forget about him. You absolutely do forget about him, and then suddenly he turns up and he does that. It's a second half hat-trick. It is. I was watching. The thing is, when I was watching it 1-0, I thought to myself, "There's no way Real are getting through here, because the only person who looks like scoring a goal for them is Karim Benzema." And I was like, "Well, I'll solve that for you, mate. I'll just score 3."
Yeah. But even for the second goal, the way he's he hunts down the goalkeeper and he plays a massive part, and then it's assisted to him and he scores it. He's just he just had everything last night, and I mean, I love one of those. I love where a goal sort of flips the whole high on its head, and the second one did that, and then the third coming immediately after, the whole place explodes. It was great. It was really good.
It was absolutely tremendous. So you'd want them in the next round, though? Do you want them in the next round? Because I'm loving how that's shaping up. The 4-3 at the minute, Liverpool, Manchester City, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. I mean, this is some serious heavyweight gear.
Yeah, I still fancy us against them. There's only a couple of things. I don't really want another away to Madrid, because I feel as if we'll just go to Madrid away forever at this stage if we get them. I'm trying to think of who else. Who have United got?
Atletico Madrid.
Atletico Madrid. I don't know. Who do you want?
I think Real could be a really good time. I think we could have a great laugh with Real.
Because I'm usually thinking about it as like, what's the European away and what's this and what's that. I just want to win the fucking competition this year, Neil. That's all I'm thinking about.
So you just think about the journey?
Yeah.
Journey to the final is what I mean.
What's our easiest way?
So ultimately, I'd never want Juventus for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And I think we can sort of come together on that.
Chelsea, you wouldn't be able to go. No one
will be able to go. So Chelsea should get through against Lille. Juventus via Real's 1-1. Ajax versus Benfica is theoretically easier, but I feel like
Ajax are good.
So, but I feel like Ajax have got a big win in them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm quite happy if for instance, if we were to get Ajax in the semis and they were to have, let's say Chelsea or let's say Man City in the quarters. I'd have my eye on, right, I wouldn't mind seeing Ajax knock one of them out, and I think they're capable of it, and then we get them when they've had the big win.
Yeah.
So that's sort of my preferred journey.
I also wouldn't want Atletico, because I don't like the thing of like playing them a game whenever we beat them twice the time before.
I think I would quite like City to get Atletico, because I think that Atletico could do City's heads in massively and really, really irritate them for 180 minutes or not longer. I wouldn't have a problem with us getting Real Madrid in there as well. If it had to be Ajax, obviously you'd take that one and shrug. The point is that it's the last 8, so it should be difficult. Yeah,
well, it's always going to be a big team, and this is where it gets exciting as well, because we didn't necessarily get the big European night against Inter the other night, not least because we got beat, but also the fact that just the feeling going into it, the fact that we were 2-0 up, you say, we're not definitely through, are we? But going into that game, I was thinking, we're through here, and you don't want to say it out loud, do you? But that's how I was thinking, and I think that psychology will have seeped into the footballers, even if you want to say it doesn't. I think the way we approach it, the way the crowd approached it, everything about it, told you that Liverpool felt as if they were already through, or at least we're a team that were 2-0 up going into it. So, but now's the big one. It's the big wigs coming in now to town, and I'm excited whoever we get. I think this is the thing that we missed out on last year. This next round will be the thing that we missed out on last year, the big European night.
We're doing a live show tomorrow night in Brighton. That is to come. Live show in Brighton coming for you with the Anfield Wrap. Sam Walkerdine is now producing beer mats for reasons. And I know you're all moaning about the table. I quite like the table. I feel as though
yeah, astonished you haven't got beer.
Yeah. I quite like the table in that. And this feels like a joke, and it's not one. It feels like part of the furniture now. It's.
I'm now at the stage where I don't feel it rocking, but then whenever I watch it back, it's like a fucking
This doesn't make it go backwards and forwards. Honestly, I think we're going to hang on to it to the end of time now, out of sheer bloody mindedness. Although there are plans, possibly afoot, to redesign that half of the studio. More on that to come. But we're doing Brighton tomorrow night, which we're really looking forward to. Brighton Live. It's our first live show back from basically COVID, to be honest with you. Do, by the way, be fastidious on tests and stuff like that. There's people getting COVID at the minute. Do look after yourselves and look after one another. So Brighton tomorrow night will be the absolute business. I can't wait for it. First time back on a stage in front of people. Freewheeling from the outset is the plan. I haven't told you the plan for the show yet.
As if they didn't know that from watching these videos. By
freewheeling from the outset. We will go. We will run it at 100 mile an hour, and we will pick up the bits once it's all over. It is Brighton. It is tomorrow night. Where is it?
Oh, it's at a social club. I can't remember. I think it might be Brighton and Hove Sports and Social Club, which I'm so excited about. By the way,
it is
the big venues, Neil. The big stages and the shiny lights. Give me the social clubs.
Absolutely, we will take the social club for that. We're also going to be in Ireland across 4 nights: Warren Point, Belfast, Dublin, and Cork. That is to come as well. Then on the Tuesday after that, I got off stage on Cork on Sunday night at 10 p.m. and at approximately 7 p.m. I will be in BD Riley's in Austin, Texas, with Michael McCambridge to talk about the book that we wrote together, which is called Red Letters. That is a lot of live shows to put together. and there's a lot of travelling and commuting for me in amongst all of that.
Have you started putting them together?
Well, you know what I mean. Nothing's getting put together.
I asked that question because I knew.
Yeah, nothing's getting put together. I want to do something a bit different with the Irish ones. In all seriousness, I've got a little bit of a stage thing to go right the way through. But anyway, that is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We are thinking about little else in Ireland. Then before then, it's Brighton on Friday. And then, as I say, I'm in Austin, BD Riley's on Tuesday, the 29th of March, talking about Red Letters, the book I've written with Michael McCambridge about the 2019-20 season, but also, if we're all honest about it, talking about the Reds as they are now, having a big night out. Then we playing at 6 a.m. on Wednesday morning. I might just not go to bed.
Oh, God. I think that's your move.
Yeah,
Surely that's your move.
We don't know what time it is because we're not going home. Other than we are going to the airport. There's T-shirts. There's this one here. It's Mohamed Salah. And that one there
Alisson.
is lovely stuff. Do get all your Anfield Wrap merch if you want to. You don't have to. But what I would say is that we can sell merchandise and Chelsea can't. Whew, big win for the Reds there.
Up the Reds.
Excellent to see. Brighton then, there's a football match. We're not just going to have a nice time. Well, hopefully we're going to have a nice time at the football match. It is, for me, they're all massive games now. But Brighton and Arsenal, back to back, to me feels like the crux of the matter. If Liverpool takes 6 points from Brighton and Arsenal, then we can expect to be bouncing into the Etihad at the very worst, where a win puts us top.
And I can't stop thinking about that Monday night against Palace, City Palace.
Nor can I.
That's all I've been thinking
What a
about.
Monday
Get
night.
through Saturday morning and then leave it sort of simmering for a couple of days. You know, that's a long time between games, isn't it? City go to Palace. They have to go to Palace. They'll have to win. All the games are massive at this stage. I'm worried about all of their legs, like I'm their mums. Do you know what I mean? I'm worried about Fabinho's legs, but you know, having watched Brighton earlier this season, they were one of the sides that impressed me from the sides that have come to Anfield this season. But also, like, looking at how they've done recently, they've been fairly dreadful. I think they've got beaten 4 times in a row, or at least 3, and they've all come against relegation sides or sides down at the bottom. So, you know, the Reds go there, it's the usual. The Reds go there, they do the business, and they'll win, hopefully. Are you starting, by the way?
With Brighton?
Yeah.
I'm not averse to a big bowl of Joe Gomez, which next to Van Dijk, which might come as a surprise to people.
Kanate's ill, isn't he? So
yeah,
that's
I'm not averse to that at all. I wouldn't be against him going Henderson, Thiago and Keita.
That's why I'm worried about Fabinho.
So Fabinho fully fit for Arsenal. To give him a little bit of a rest and have him on the bench if you need him. So Henderson, Thiago and Keita, I wouldn't have a problem not starting Henderson at Arsenal. Is the journey I sort of go on here. I don't think Henderson needs to play every game. I feel like I want Thiago to play every game, and I don't think Fabinho needs to play every game either. I think Henderson, Thiago, and Keita gives you a little bit of everything that you might need, and then you've got options from the bench. You'd have Fabinho, Chamberlain, Elliott, Jones, Milne, you know, however many you want of the lads there. And I think he will just continually start Salah, so I don't think there's a chat on that. I think Salah will start all the way through, and I would want Firmino to start against Arsenal if he's in the area for that. I like Firmino at Arsenal a great deal, so I would probably go with Mane and Diaz up top, and then have my eye on half an hour of Jota, 15 minutes of Firmino, and then flipping that for the Arsenal game and going Salah, Jota and Firmino for that one, and having Mane and Luis Diaz off the bench. That'd be my journey. I'd be starting Salah every game.
Definitely.
There's a wide variety of reasons why.
The main one, you're not looking him in the eye and saying you're not starting this weekend.
No,
mate. Absolutely not. Who would do that? Not even Jurgen Klopp can do that.
No.
No, I think I'm excited to see Diaz this weekend as well. I think he's just a footballer that gets us all off our seats and gets us excited the minute he gets the
and I think Keita's playing brilliantly.
He is. He was really good in those 2 games.
So I would just be, you know, sort of riding Keita right the way through here insofar as you can. And so I wouldn't have a problem again with. I mean, I end up making too many subs when I go through this, but the idea, as I say, of Henderson, Keita and Thiago just lets you look after the game against Brighton, look after the ball against Brighton, come out the other side of it, because, you know, I think that if you can beat Brighton's press, you can beat Brighton, and that's the main thing that we're going to have to try and do. It's going to be huge.
It will be huge.
So people should subscribe, because it's quite the time.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course they should.
Download the app.
Download the app, get free tokens, give the content a go. Podcast videos. There's at least 2 or 3 every day, by the way. And they're all excellent, including the Rory Smith podcast that Neil does, Midnight Caller. Get on it. Get on
everything, getting everything that you need. As ever, remember that there's greater things going on in football, and even within football, not all football supporters are the same. Whatever your outlook is on this, that, or the other, it is the Anfield Wrap, it's Neil Atkinson, it's Craig Hannan. Just buy and download everything and enjoy yourselves, to be honest with you, because it does not get better than this.